Anton von Leeuwenhoek. Leeuwenhoek is famous for his microscope work. Back in the olden day, he was just an ordinary guy. Unfortunately, on his 6th birthday, his two younger sisters and his father died. His mom remarried and he went to boarding school. He worked for a cloth merchant and saw his first microscope. Shoo 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 shoo. Introducing the microscope, the newest and greatest tool of the century. 1653. This is the microscope. It's so cool. Everyone have one. You need to get one too. It has the power of 3 for magnifying. He got one for himself. Then he went back to his hometown and opened his own cloth store. He got married, but unfortunately his wife died. He remarried, but unfortunately his second wife died, so he got plenty of free time. He started noticing that there are little small animals on his cloth stuff, so he took out his microscope that he got and looked under it and he saw little animalcules. And he started grinding his own lens because he wanted to see how they look bigger. He made microscope. Now it's quite a controversy. Your teachers or books might argue that he was the first to invent microscope, while others might say that other scientists like Robert Hooke and such other scientists have already created the microscope. So it's not really sure what Leeuwenhoek was first to invent or not. But however, things that are sure is he invented very powerful microscope up to 200 times magnifying power. While the other scientists haven't even reached near of his capability, it took over nearly 100 years later for other scientists to match his lens crafting skill. Because when Leeuwenhoek went to the graveyard, he kept the secret with him. He was a very greedy person in a way. However, he did contribute to science. When Robert Hooke was making his publications of Micrographia, Leeuwenhoek decided, I want to support science society too. So he sent in his observation, which helped society figure out all these other cool stuff. He took his work and he sent it to the Royal Society London, which is famous for science at that time. What Leeuwenhoek did was he took basically everything he get a hand on and he'll just put it under a microscope to see what it looks like. He took a look at bacterial cells that he got from his mouth and his neighbor's mouth and other people around him. He tested it out. He also looked at proteins and from the lake. He also looked at plant cells in his garden. He also looked at sperm cells in... I'll leave that up to your imagination. He also looked at blood cell. So basically anything he can get his hand on, he'll put it on a microscope to see what it looks like. And then he died at 90 years old. So basically, Leeuwenhoek is known as the father of microbiology. So he basically kind of started biology. Well, yeah, thanks to him, yay, that means more studying. We have great and amazing biology teachers. Thanks to him, you have to stay up late nights and study just so you can become successful and more educated and more knowledgeable. Oh, and then there's other stuff that biology kind of helped out. Like, for example, you can diagnose a person to see what's wrong with them, or you can develop medicines and give it to them. People will live longer. And then there's genetically modified organism where food tastes better and bigger animal and then better tasting meat and so on. But yeah, that's about it. Anyways. Amoeba. There's an amoeba. That's a confused amoeba. A shocked amoeba. A bodybuilding amoeba. A bodybuilding amoeba on steroids. Amoeba disguised as a period. A period disguised as an amoeba. So what is your amoeba doing?